Today I'm going to give a speech of the improving Chinese social status of women. I'm a Chinese girl that born in normal Chinese family. From the moment that I start to remember, I was told a boy always better than a girl. This has confusing me for several years. And even now, I did not know why people have such belief. Actually, I have been working on Chinese women's status since I was in high school. I did a big research paper on Chinese women marriage in my IB program. And when I came to university, I take writing classes called Women in America to know more about women rights in different areas. And by approaching to this topic, I have came across to know how many women have suffered in different areas, but in the same way. Luckily, most of the countries have law enforcing of women and men have the same rights, but they are still suffering in the war. We need to remember those great people who has either suffered for us or to protect next generation from suffering. This is the intent of my speech. And now I'm going to tell how the Chinese women's life used to be by making contrast. The first point I'm going to make is women who do not get educated were considered the best quality of them. Women who did not get educated were dependent. In Chinese marriage, women were afraid of getting divorced because they just know to rely on their husband. As the enrollment rate of school-age girls stands 98.6%, and the National Healthcare Network for Women and Children has been established in both urban and rural areas. This reference was in 1998. Even almost 2 decades ago, it still could tell women and children were start to get educated since 1998. And secondly, women were used to dedicate to their whole life into families and just families. But now most of them were getting out and have their own career and contributed to the city development. Women were accounted for more than 60% of the total number of the rural laborers and 40% of the network of the workforce for the township enterprises. And there were compliments for women said that an important role in economic development and scientific progress. And also 650 women, or just say 21.8% of the total, were elected deputy to the ninth National People's Congress as a state of fact. This was about education, and now let's take a look at sex attitude for both men and women. Women were not allowed to have sex before marriage and also had no sex knowledge at all. And also sex is a topic that could not speak law. A statement as with an increasingly liberal and politic economic environment in recent decades, sex has become less taboo subject in China. Has proved that with time passed by, the accessibility of talking about sex is increasing. Not necessary to be a virgin is the second point I'm going to make. The attitudes of sex of women and men have been changed might also due to the policy of the open door. This policy has freed Chinese from many aspects, which include sex attitude. Premarital sex has become widely accepted among young Chinese as by a suggested number of studies. The Chinese women were no longer to need to be bound with the idea of virgin. And after talking about enough, and after taking enough education and changing view of sex, women will finally view marriage differently. They do not need to afraid of getting divorced. Now I'm going to talk about the changing idea of marriage. Divorce is no longer a dead point for women. They could go for pursue the true love if they found the marriage that they have right now is not a perfect match. From the research, it have showed that Chinese crude divorce rate from about 0.8% in 1990 and raised up about to 2.2% in 2011 of the total married couple. As those improvement of thinking and acting, Chinese women's status has been changed from the inside out. These modern Chinese women may have lived out their true life. After making those several points, the status of Chinese women have improved a lot from many aspects, such as they are getting enough education, healthcare, and even chance to do what they really wanted to do. And also, people are open-minded now. People were allowed to have premarital sex and being accepted. And also, women could choose the life they wanted to, and to do whatever they wanted to do. They do not need to fear anything and any worse. Chinese women should speak up for themselves to earn what they should have, and also all of us should do what we should to protect what we have to protect. And also, we need to cherish this social status that everyone are having right now. So be real, speak up, and be passionate.